Hello, and welcome to the Extra Mile Podcast, where I, Jack Johnsey, will be bringing you clean and unbiased information by interviewing people that show knowledge and dedication in everything that they do. Hope you enjoy. I did send questions.
I did look them over. They were good.
Okay.
They're not quick.
They're like I said, my first podcast, so I just put random questions down.
Yeah. The Extra Mile first.
Yes,
first episode.
First episode of the Extra Mile.
It's big.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that this room has air conditioning, so I open the window whenever I sleep. So
you're sleeping in here.
I am. Yeah.
Nice.
So
it's pretty cool outside, so it should be fine. It's like 50.
Yeah. So if you need me to turn on the air conditioning, I can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first question. What could you tell me about you? What's your past? What you're doing now?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
So my name's Anthony Camerieri. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. And growing up, just kind of played all the sports. Didn't really find running until, I guess my first year running was sixth grade. CYO track. CYO stands for Catholic Youth Organization. For all the, I guess that's only like a northern U.S. thing. I didn't realize that it wasn't like everyone knows what CYO is. But but in elementary school, I was really good at the gym class mile. I think I had the boys' school record. Actually, girl has like the overall school record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's ran faster than all the boys ever, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But so I was pretty talented with running early on, so loved it in middle school. I loved the winning. I didn't really love the training.
Yeah.
And then high school, just kept running, battled a ton of injuries. Then got good enough to go to Miami, Ohio for college. And then I guess I started to like enjoy the training process more end of high school. And then that led me to get good enough. And then at Miami, I just kept finding more and more success as I kind of figured out how to stay away from the injuries and keep consistent training. And then transferred to Ole Miss. And then I guess from there, I got I feel like my whole career has kind of been like just getting good enough. Like high school, I just got good enough to go to Miami, just got good enough to go to Ole Miss, and I just got good enough to go to Tinman Elite.
Right.
And then, so I kind of started my professional running career was Tinman Elite. And then I did that for a year. And then again, I just got good enough to get like a separate contract from She Ran. So now I run for Saucony. And I've been loving the pro running lifestyle. And then as far as coaching, I started coaching last year. So I've been doing that for a year. Coaching people online. I coach Jack. He's it was like my fourth or fifth. That's been a whole lot of fun. So I think that's kind of, if I can find a way to make that my profession later on, I think I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Well, you're a great coach, so I think it's definitely something you could pursue.
Improving.
All right. So I think you kind of led into it, but like, when did you know running was something you were going to pursue?
Mm-hmm. I don't know totally when I figured out that running was like a career someone could do. Like in 2012, I remember it was like big. That was kind of first when I got into running, and I was big into like watching the Olympics. So I wasn't sure if I knew those people, like that's all I did with the job or what I thought. Probably in like senior year of high school, maybe early college, I kind of figured out that you can like be a professional runner and get paid and do that. As far as when I thought I could be good enough, probably, I think it was the end of my junior year. I made the NCAA regional final in the 1500. And that was like a pretty steep trajectory from freshman to junior year. So I was like, if I can keep on this trajectory for a couple more years, I think I could make it. So that's kind of when the idea came into my head that that's something I could pursue. And then fourth year in college, kind of same thing. I was like, I still need to make another jump. And then at Ole Miss is kind of when I made that jump to get good enough where I could pursue it lowest level. And then now I'm, a bit higher up in the ranks.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like my full-time job, full income. So
yeah. All right. So what was the most impactful lesson you learned from training under like any of your coaches, but maybe, I don't know, what your Tinman Elite coaching was like or anything like that?
The biggest takeaway I've had from, I guess, combining all my coaches is, there's always the generics, be consistent on all that stuff.
Right.
But for the most part, I've basically just done everything my coaches have told me to do. And they seem to know what they're talking about. Because, all like Mark and Joe had been coached for 40 years. My coaches at Miami were world championship qualifiers and coaching for a combined probably 15, 20 years. My coach at Ole Miss was, he coached a pro team. So like they all kind of know what they were doing. So if you just kind of do what they say, you tend to get better. So it's maybe not as profound as maybe you're looking for.
No, that's great.
Yeah, I was just, that's for me. Then I've seen the others that like, anytime anyone like, that's a better answer. My coach at Miami said before, I don't know if this is actually real or not, but he said they did a study on marathoners at the Olympic trials one year or Olympics, one of the two. And the biggest correlator with success in the race was if you believed in your training or not like the type of training you're doing or anything.
Yeah.
So, it seems like all my teammates that didn't believe in the training, it's like there's like a psychological thing going on.
Right.
And then to go on top of that, I think there's just so many ways to get better. Like there's so many different training methods and workouts to do that. Like all my coaches have kind of had different styles, but all my teams have, gotten better.
Right.
As well as myself. So there's just so many different ways to get there. So I think that's the kind of biggest takeaway I've had from kind of having a bunch of different coaches for the past 8-10 years.
What about workouts? Is there a favorite workout, something that, helped you improve, something that you could, I've been asked that question before and I don't really know how to answer it.
Yeah.
Because it's, there's so many good ones.
Yeah. And like I said, there's so many different ways to get better. So many different workouts you can do. I like to kind of simplify training and just run hard a couple times a week and run easy the rest, then you'll get better.
Right.
Double threshold has, I think, done wonders for me the last few years, or last, I guess, year and a half to get me a lot stronger. This is kind of a niche workout, but at Miami in our base building, we would do before indoor track, we would do workouts Tuesday, Friday, look normal. But on Thursdays, we would only do 5 by 300 at mile pace.
Okay.
And for 4 weeks in a row, before we raced. And it was it started a little slower than mile pace and then cut down a little bit off 60 to 90 seconds rest. And after a month of doing that on top of the workouts, mile pace it just felt so easy. And I was always almost at peak mile shape within a month of the base building.
Right.
So that's the only one where I'm that, because you never really know, it'll work out. You think it works,
right?
But you don't really know,
right?
So that's the only one where I'm that. I 95% sure that was
beneficial,
a very beneficial thing,
right?
Just specifically for mile fitness,
right?
So that's kind of one that sticks out.
Yeah,
that's only like, it's like half a workout though. It's like, it's just 5 by 300 you do after your easy run on Thursday. But yeah, I definitely think that was beneficial.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move to coaching perspective. Let's see. All right, so as a coach, how do you adapt principles to athletes, ranging from their different levels, from someone like me to, someone crazy elite?
Well, you are one of the faster ones to coach, so I think you give yourself a bit more credit. But like, it's easier for me to coach like someone like you, who, like, I've been a 4:45 miler before. I've been a 10:2 miler before.
Right.
So, like, given I didn't take very good notes of what I was doing back then, because that was when I was freshman, sophomore in high school.
Right.
Just like you were. So I wasn't really keeping a good log then, but I mean, I was still, that fast at one point. So, it's a little harder for like people that are running 6 or 7 minute, like, or miles, or like 20 to 25 minute 5Ks.
Right.
But it's, to me, it's just all like math and numbers. Like, it's all just like a percentage of like your race pace. And then you got to scale it to how much volume they can handle and all that stuff. Some people add in cross training, some people I don't. That's mostly just if they want to do it or not.
Right.
Because, I mean, anyone could add in 7 hours biking a week, but like, do they really, if they have a full-time job, do they really want to do that?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all basically the same. Like, it's just all trying to get people as fast as, they can. And,
right.
Just simplifying it. Like I said, it's running hard 2 times a week and easy the rest.
Right.
So there's not, I mean, obviously the workouts vary a lot just because, people are much different in ability, but they all kind of have the same basic principles. So try to go back to that.
Yeah. That's one thing I really like about the personal coaching is it's not a, same thing for every person. Yeah.
Like, if I was coaching like a big team, like, with like 50 to 100 people, you'd have to do it like a percent, like, effort, potentially, like, this rep at 80%, this
right,
90%. But when it's just like you're coaching one person, it's a lot easier just to be like, run 5:30 for this mile.
Right. Which is,
just got to figure out what it is for that person. That's that same effort.
Yeah.
But it's not, once you give them a couple workouts and have them give you feedback, it's kind of figured out.
Right. So what's like, I've also been asked this question. I don't really, not this exact question, but a question like it. And it's always hard to answer, but like, what's a piece of advice that you would give, any athletes that you coach, or, something that you've learned that you would pass on to the next generation?
I think, well, the thing that I definitely screwed up a lot, basically until I was a junior in college, was just building up too fast and just getting too greedy, like the first month or so of a training block. So, because then you're not injured, you're enjoying it more, and then everything just kind of falls into place because then you're training better,
right?
Getting faster, not injured. So, yeah, I always just, one thing I wish I would have told myself when I was, 20, the age of 20 and under, was just build up slower, and you'll won't be hurt all the time, and you'll be running more, enjoying it more, getting faster. So, just have some chill, I think, is the best way to put it.
Don't go 6:30s on your easy runs, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
So
you do that sometimes.
I do. It's very enjoyable.
I mean, I think when you're in high school, like, you recover faster too, so you can make kind of get away with
decisions.
Yeah, and but if you're running like 60, 70 miles a week, then your margin for error is a little less.
Yeah, tight.
So,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah. It's, you can get carried, I can get carried away a little bit on my easy runs. But
yeah, like on Tuesday,
yeah.
8
What
miles.
what did I do? Oh, yeah. 8 miles. I just kept running to my friend.
I understand that. I should have said something.
Well, no, it's
You made up for the mileage you missed.
exactly.
That way.
Exactly. And then the next day felt rough. But
Yeah. Are you feeling better now, though?
I'm feeling great, except for
Good.
the 3 miles at altitude didn't
Yeah.
suffice for him.
Yeah. It was a little high up here.
Yeah. And hilly.
Yeah. The drive here is a little rough on my car.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you balance like the physical and mental part, like with coaching? Like,
Mhm.
how do you, like, physical is very obvious. You got to be physically fit, but what about mental?
Yeah. Yeah. The physical part is definitely the easier part for me. Mental, that's the one I think with a little coaching experience, you kind of just naturally kind of figure out how to, better ways to, handle that. I've been coaching for a year. So,
Right.
But my thing is just trying to keep it fun. And if that's, if you can do that, then usually the athlete will perform.
Right.
So, that's kind of just my main focus. Especially because it's like, it's not like people are like on a high school team or like on a college team. Like all of the people I coach are like individuals that like are paying me. So it's like, it's, I don't want to just like if it's not fun, then it's like,
what am I here for?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of just what I focus on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully everything falls into place, or sometimes it doesn't, but like usually I can take care of most of things.
Right.
But that's definitely something I'm trying to figure out more and grow as a coach, is kind of how to mentally get the best out of everyone as well.
Right.
But also because people are like seeking out coaching, I think that they're pretty, they kind of have
Their
the
mental
mental part
Right.
pretty well.
Right. So what's the biggest challenge you face as a coach, and how has your like experience in Tinman Elite and professional running helped you to like address it? Injury or anything like that?
Yeah. I would say at first it was a little, like I was talking about, the like just trying to figure out like what paces like people should be running of like very different ability levels. That was kind of the hardest thing for me at first, but then I kind of figured it out pretty quickly. Now, I think it's trying to balance like how much do I want to micromanage and how much do the athletes want me to micromanage them. So like, as far as like warm up, like pre-run activation drills and like post-run stretching and all that stuff, like, just trying to figure out like how much like hands-on they want me with like,
you don't want to be
everything.
Yeah. You don't want to be annoying, but you want to give them information.
Yeah. So, which I mean, I've had coaches like, like my coach at Ole Miss was like, didn't really do any of that. Like we did core once or twice a week and that was it.
Yeah.
Just as a group at the track. Whereas like Joan with Tinman, she was like, I mean, she's very like into the science of everything, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But she would give us like everything to do, which, I think is good, but also like, then I have my own stuff I want to do that I want to add in.
Right.
So, just trying to manage how much
information
to give them, how much is like too much, how much is like overwhelming, how much is if it's not enough or
right.
whatever. So kind of trying to figure out like just with each athlete what to do exactly.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
How much do you like?
How much do I like?
Yeah.
I mean, I do like how much that you're giving now. Like, I do like the personalized, you know, strength, core, strength and mobility stuff.
Added some more stuff, yeah. But the thing that's a little different because you're also like on the team.
Right, yeah.
So you used to have some of that, I presume.
Right. I have my own stretching routine that I do. And then usually we'll add in your stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want more, let me know.
Yeah.
Or if it's too much, I guess.
Or if it's too... So we've kind of talked about some of this, but what's your proudest moment as an elite runner? How does it like shape your perspective of the sport? How does it?
Yeah. I'd say we're just kind of like as an overarching theme is I just never thought I would be this good. Like when I was a freshman in college, one of my teammates ran like 14:01 in the 5K. And I thought that was, that was in 2018, 2019, which that was a lot faster than it is now just because everyone's so much faster. But
inflation.
Yeah. Track inflation.
Yeah.
But like, I never thought it'd be that fast. Now it's like in a couple of weeks, if I don't run under 13:20, I'll be disappointed. Right. So, I never expected to be this good. So I, take pride in having found a way to get here.
Right.
As far as like specific moments, there is two that kind of stand out. Well, I guess sort of three. In high school, we got second in the 4x8 at state, or in 7:44, which I was like totally unheard of for like our school or even our expectations were like 2 months before we ran that. So that was like relative to expectations. I was like, I feel like I'll never experience a race like that again unless I like make the Olympics.
Yeah.
But then at Ole Miss, we got second in the DMR at Indoor Nationals.
Okay.
And that was our first two legs didn't have great races, and we were in 11th place after you own a DMR like 1,200 for wasn't sure if they have you run one yet?
I haven't. I really want to, but the thing is that
you
I
need
focus
teammates.
Well, I do need some more teammates, but also I focus too much on the 3,200, and so it gets in the way a little bit.
Yeah. Are there meets where you have that?
The DMR?
Yeah. Did you do
that? Some of our team has in past years, but I haven't ever raced it.
Yeah. But yeah, so our 800 guy ran really well, but he only got us into 10th because we were so far back, and then I got us from 10th to 2nd. So that was like that was like probably the biggest performance of my career, whether it's just relative to like sure, I've maybe run faster as like a pro, but like I'm getting beat because everyone's a pro. And relative to like the level I was at, that was probably like the best performance. And then 3 weeks later, I ran a 5K in 13:26 and like won the race, and that's kind of went solo the last K. And that was a good month I had.
That's crazy.
But then I didn't have a very good end of the season, so it kind of sucked. But those two races is probably like my best two I've had.
Right.
And then like running at the trials last year was pretty cool just because, it's just single Olympic trials. And like I said, I never thought I'd like be that good.
Yeah.
But no, I'm done with just like getting the experiences, like, and being satisfied with that. Now it's like, I need to like actually like place well and run faster to like kind of get that same, like, satisfaction, enjoyment, or whatever. So it's always a moving target.
Yeah.
Never happy.
Never happy. That's good to know.
It's about the pursuit and the day-to-day running.
Right.
Which I enjoy that a lot. So that's mostly why I still do it.
Right.
The racing and PRing and stuff is just a cherry on top.
Right. Yeah. How's the YouTube videos that you tell people not to watch? How are they going?
Pretty good. The first one when I did the cycling FTP test, I thought that was going to get more views. I'm only at, I think, a little under 600 now.
Okay, well that's
But I do
six times what my best video has ever done.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went with the clickbait title.
Right, yeah.
So, well, which I hate doing that. I hate being like, I don't want to be like, well, I'm a professional runner, look at me. But like,
yeah,
you put that on the title, I get more views. I'm like,
right.
Let's try to grow the channel.
It's the thing like with the hashtags. I never know. Do I want to put a hashtag in there to grow?
Can you even put that like
on YouTube?
In the title?
I don't know about YouTube, but in Instagram, you can put them.
Yeah. Because on YouTube, I used to have a gaming channel. It's kind of embarrassing. I probably uploaded like 100 like gaming videos.
Yeah.
I was pretty into it, even though I only had like 40 subscribers.
Well, what games were you playing?
Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. That was a computer, like a first-person shooter.
Okay.
I have an embarrassing amount of hours in that game.
Okay.
Then I played a little bit of Rocket League. H1Z1. It's like a battle royale like Fortnite, but it was like before Fortnite came out.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, I think kind of the original battle royale game. It was just on the computer. I played all like PC games.
PC, okay.
And then I think I had a couple Borderlands 2 videos. I deleted them all.
Oh, really?
Because
they weren't on the same channel, were they?
No, a different channel.
Okay.
I had a gaming channel.
I wanted to go look in your archives and see.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Once Katie found them, Katie's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just deleted all of them. Not that it was like, it was just kind of cringy. Not that it was like I did anything bad on there. It was kind of embarrassing.
Right.
Because I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
So.
Yesterday I did go through your Instagram. I scrolled all the way down just to see.
Yeah. What I've deleted most of the weird stuff.
Yeah. It was just racing stuff mostly.
Yeah, it's basically all it's there. Just a couple of random other pictures.
I think your dog in there too.
Yeah, a few pictures of the dog. Yeah, but my other videos that I've posted, there's the workout videos, which those are fun.
Yeah.
I have content for one that was like 8 or 9 days ago that I haven't uploaded, like edited yet, but that's my next project is doing that. I also enjoy doing it. Like I don't think I'll ever like make money from it or anything, but it's just kind of fun.
Pretty fun. Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I don't ever see it growing, exponentially, but maybe it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like some random people end up like getting famous. So
yeah,
who knows? You could be the next one. Yeah. I mean, it's also good for like brand. Like when you're a pro, like half of your job is to run fast. The other half is to like kind of be an influencer in a way. Yeah. Like it's like written into the contract. So you have to post so much or whatever. So part of it's also to please the sponsors.
Right.
But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I just uploaded one last night. Stayed up way too late trying to get it uploaded, and it wasn't even that great. So
I'll give it a watch.
Well, the thing is that
don't stay up late though. Edit.
The thing, I don't record because it's not something I'm used to doing. And so it would just be like a big gap. It would be like before workout, after workout. There's like nothing in between.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I had that issue on my videos because like, I don't want to bother someone to be like, can you film this workout or film me biking or something? And
most of the people that are there, they're working out too. So.
Yeah, which we have a content person with Hammer and Axe for the summer.
Okay.
So she's been really good at getting content since she got here. So I've been kind of using her. But
is that Rachel?
That is Rachel. Yeah.
We're Rachel.
Yeah, she's back this summer. So she's great to have around.
Yeah. Is Max still working for Tinman?
I think so. He does content for them, I think, still.
Yeah.
But he has his own, like, him and 3 other photographers have the Footstep Creative, I think it's called.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where like he went to Western States, like the ultra marathon that was just this weekend. Like he did a bunch of content for them. So he does like him and all the other 3 guys. Like they travel the country and get up content for whatever like brand or race or athletes need it. So
okay.
I think Tinman's like less of a role. Like it's not his like main thing anymore. Okay. But I think he still like does stuff for them.
Yeah. I just remember at HAX last year, he was the big photographer guy.
Yeah. So Yeah. He still does stuff for them, but not as much.
Yeah. I think he took like thousands of photos that week and he would like be huddled under the stairs in that hotel, just like scrolling through photos, trying to.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they'll take him and like other photographers, like work with the team. Like they'll take like thousands, like thousands of pictures, but then like the ones they only send you like 50 to 100 just because they just like pick the best ones, edit them, and make them really nice. But a lot of it just goes to waste. Yeah, because it wasn't perfect.
But they enjoy doing it. So
yeah, and it makes a lot of money. So
I'm sure
it's good.
Yeah. So another Tinman Elite question. I know these are probably your favorite. But so you trained with like Drew Hunter, Sam Parsons, and I know for me, like the people that I train with, like, they encouraged me, they changed my mindset and everything. How did they like push you to improve or anything?
Yeah. I think I guess ever since I got to college, I think the people that like just are better than you, they're better than me. They just being around them just kind of, and just working out with them just kind of makes you better. So that's kind of the main thing. Then they've also just been pros for 8-ish years or something. I don't know exactly how long, but, so there's a lot of like just how to navigate like what races to run and like just how to navigate the pro running scene. I think was really good to have them for. But yeah, just like some of my teammates in Miami that were better than me, and just running with them every day and just kind of get you better.
Right.
It wasn't any like just because they're Drew and Sam. It wasn't like I was like magically made me better, but it was just kind of the same thing. It was like my teammates at other schools that were better than me, and I just got me better from that. Yeah, just keeping up with them. Yeah, workouts.
In high school, we had like 2 guys that were, they were pretty fast for our state and everything, and so they would push me. And then now, whenever they come home from college during the summer, it's always cool to hear about their college running career and their stories.
Yeah. Where did they go?
So one of them is Jeb Hamilton. Shout out Jeb Hamilton. He runs at Union University in Tennessee.
Okay.
I think it's a D2, if I'm not mistaken. And then my other one, he's actually my cousin, Sam Johnson. He runs in a Christian college in Florida, a small Christian college. I don't know what ranking they are.
Yeah. Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe NAI.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah. So
you're just running.
But still get to learn a lot from them. So
for sure. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. But that said, I don't think you need teammates better than you to like get better. Like my last couple of years at Miami, I was like equal to or the best on the team.
Right.
And I think that almost like worked even better because then I was like, sometimes if you're just running with people that are faster than you all the time, you're like working too hard.
Yeah.
Whereas I never had that problem my last couple of years in Miami. So, I think it almost like made me even better because I was never working too hard. I was either working just as I should or like a little less.
Right.
So you don't need to like have people that are like way better than you to get better. Like even if you're the best on the team, you can still like improve.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm trying to learn. I'm sure but
yeah,
doing solo workouts and stuff during the season, it's
best and only.
And
you are
the only guy on the team, only distance guy.
Yeah,
which I'm doing better. I'm better.
Your sickness.
I'm recovered.
Yeah,
almost.
Sometimes takes a little extra week. You get 100%.
Yeah, it's rough going to summer camps, getting diseases that you don't know what they are.
Yeah, church camps, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. So, talking about sickness, on the topic of sickness, how do you handle setbacks, injuries, or races that didn't go planned?
Yeah.
as planned.
Yeah, well, in high school and first years of college, I definitely struggled a lot with injuries, especially in high school. I think I probably didn't run more days than I ran in high school, which obviously that's not going to lead you to much success,
Right.
at least relative to what you should be. So, I wasn't as good at I wasn't as good at handling it then. Like, I wasn't that good of a teammate. Like, I wouldn't go to practice, wouldn't go to meets because I was just kind of like, I don't want to be there. Just like sad and not running.
Yeah.
Then in college, I also kind of had an unhealthy relationship with running where I was kind of addicted to it, but like I definitely needed to not be training as much as I was.
Right.
So, that was also not very good. But then once since then I haven't really been injured that much at all. I had my first injury since my sophomore year of college, which sophomore year of college was 2020. I had my first injury since 2020 this spring. And I think there's a point where it's like you've been in pain for so long. It's like, and once you finally make that decision to stop running, it's almost a relief because then you don't have to run through pain every day.
Yeah.
And two, I've enjoyed cycling more and more the past, like ever since I started in 2020. But now I'm like enjoying it so much. So like doing that instead of running was a good way to like take my mind off.
10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Of elevation cycle.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was 7,700. I never hit 10,000, but, yeah. So that's been a lot of fun to do that. That kind of takes my mind off. Anything you can do to like take your mind off of, not being able to run is a good thing. But of course, the last 5 years I've had, plenty of races not go as planned. But some of them hurt more than others. Like when I was at Ole Miss, I didn't make nationals, even though I was top 24 go to nationals and I was fourth in the country based on my outdoor time. And I didn't make it. So that's, a big disappointment.
Yeah.
So that one took a long time to get over. But running is like, there's always something next in running. So I just kind of keep that perspective, like even after high school, like, and even if you're not running in college, you could still pursue like run club and get faster and faster. Like, you don't have to like follow the exact ideal trajectory that, everyone kind of thinks you should have to get to wherever, you should be. So yeah, I just like to think that like running never has to be over unless you have like some random career ending injury.
Right.
So just trying to keep that in mind. And there's always another race there's always the next year to keep getting better.
Right.
So
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Hard races or bad races are very mentally hard.
Yeah. And for me, like obviously like the Olympic trials is a bigger deal than like some other random race. But whenever I have a race coming up, I always just think it's like the biggest race I've ever had.
Right.
Which could be bad because then it's like, if it goes bad, then it's like, oh, I just failed.
Ruined.
Yeah. But then you just shift your mindset to the next race. So this is like, the most important race.
Right.
So, that's what helps me. That might not help other people, but that's kind of what kind of helps me to move on and
right.
Just keep a good perspective.
Just stop looking at the past and start looking at.
Because like if all you're worried about all year is just like the state championship, then it's like, or the national championship or whatever, then like if that one race goes bad, then your whole year is a failure in your mind, where it's like that's really not the case.
Right.
So
you had all these good races before it that you didn't pay attention to.
Yeah. Which obviously, I mean, like this USA's, I'm like, I really want to do well because I haven't done super well the last two USA's. And it's like, I feel like now it's like I need to, do good at the USA's fronts because that is technically the main goal.
Yeah.
But I still think just every other race is also pretty important that you should take seriously and also have good, just have good takeaways there.
Definitely. Yeah. So what about transitioning from college into elite? Was it a big jump? Was it just kind of like, oh, that's the next thing?
The only thing that was like a big change was just the level of competition. Like my first year, or I guess my last year in the NCAA, or I guess even when I'm going from high school to college, like you go from being top 5 to 10 in like all my cross country races, and then I'm like 150, 200th place at like the pre-nationals race. So it's like, that's kind of a big change,
Right. Yeah.
So not as extreme, but that's kind of the same thing. Like from college to pro, because I mean, to be like a top level college athlete, that is able to go pro, you have to, be pretty good and able to compete at that level.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, just kind of same thing. I went from like my senior or my 5th year track at Ole Miss. Like I won probably half my track races. But then I guess I won one as a pro, but it was like not that big of a race, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, I mean, just kind of getting my butt kicked by like Grant Fisher and people like that. That's a big exchange, which I mean, that's motivating for me. Like, I want to be that good. So,
right.
But in order to get there, you got to get beat by them along the way.
Right.
But the training wise, it's like by the end of college, I was taking training like super seriously.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's not that much different.
Right.
I just run Old Herschel now, which I thought running 2 workouts a day was like the craziest thing until I became pro. Then I was like, oh, I guess that's,
well, to me, it's
what everyone does. Yeah. I mean, it should feel crazy to you. And if any high schooler is doing that, it's like, I mean, they're probably going to reach their peak way sooner or burn out or get injured.
Yeah.
So, which doesn't necessarily, like, reaching your peak sooner isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is a lot more fun to keep it better through college.
Right.
So, yeah. So, yeah, training wise, it's not much different at all.
It's just adapting with
The competition.
Yeah. Makes sense. Another great question that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah.
Coaching and running wise.
That is a fantastic question. I don't know. I think pro running, in order to, because at that point I'd be 10 years from now, I'd be 35, I guess. And in order to still be a pro at 35, you have to be like pretty freaking good. So, will I get that good? Not maybe. I don't know. I might want to. But I guess just statistically speaking, I'll probably no longer be doing running as my job. Yeah. So, I think the most ideal thing or job I would have would be some sort of like college coach, unless I can grow the online coaching more, where that is like, full-time job type money,
right,
and time commitment. So yeah, I think it would be to be a head coach at like some sort of college, ideally a bigger school, because those pay a lot more than like a D3 school.
Yeah.
But as far as running, I think as long as my body can handle it, I'll just keep running and biking as long as I can. So I probably won't be putting in 15, 20 hour weeks of training anymore, because that's just kind of a big commitment.
Right.
But I just love the daily, I guess, grind and just training.
Yeah.
Just getting out there and enjoying nature. So I'll keep doing that.
Right.
So yeah, but then, I mean, coaching, especially now with like the college landscape's kind of changing with, like NIL and all that stuff. So like, there's a chance that like the whole way that the collegiate running scene is structured totally changes. So whether that's less teams and it's more of a club system, then are there even coaches making 6-figure salaries? So that, when that's the case, like, I don't know, maybe. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a little, for the past 5-ish years, I've never really known what the next 5 years from now will look like. 5 years ago, I definitely didn't think it would be where I'm at now. So I think it's kind of exciting just not know.
You never dreamed you'd be on a podcast with a high schooler.
Yeah, talking about my running. Like who would have thought? No idea. So never thought I would have lived in Colorado either.
Yeah.
I made 5 years ago, I made a list of like places I want to visit before I die, and the first 2 were like Boulder and Flagstaff, and now it's like I live in one and will potentially be living in the other in a few months.
Yeah.
So it's like, never would have thought that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no idea 5-10 years what it'll look like, but I tend to figure it out. So I'm sure I'll figure it out.
I mean, that's what I like to do. Just go with the flow, just go.
Yeah. As long as you're a motivated enough person that you'll find a way.
Yeah.
Make enough money to survive and have fun and enjoy your life.
Right.
So,
that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you very much for coming on. This is great. Thank you very much for watching the Extra Mile podcast. This podcast is brought to you by me and many others who work hard to get it edited and out to the public. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you would like to see on the podcast, you can email me at theextramilepodcast08@gmail.com. Thank you again very much. I'll see you next time.